Okay, let's just jump right in. We all know smart chips are basically the brains of our modern world, right? They're in everything, from our phones to our cars. But here's the thing. Behind these incredible little pieces of tech, there's a hidden problem. A massive, colossal drain of resources that the industry is, well, only now starting to get a handle on. All thanks to a revolutionary new tool, artificial intelligence. Take a good look at this number, $131 billion. That is the estimated annual loss that's just lurking, hiding inside the global semiconductor supply chain. It's an absolutely staggering figure, and it really comes from two major culprits: a ton of waste in inventory and all the little losses that happen when you're actually making the chips. And we're not talking about a rounding error here. This is a silent giant, hiding in plain sight in one of the world's most advanced industries. It represents wasted capital, lost opportunities, and it's a huge drag on innovation. So the big question is, where is all this money actually disappearing? To really get our heads around that, we need to break this billion-dollar problem down into its two core pieces. First, you've got the physical product that you just don't get to sell. That's what we call yield loss. And second, there's the product you have way too much of, or maybe the wrong kind of, and that's all inventory loss.
You know, this problem isn't caused by one single catastrophic failure. It's more like a death by a thousand cuts. For yield loss, you're looking at teeny tiny deviations in processes or materials. For inventory loss, and look, that's the massive piece of the pie, you've got materials just sitting there getting old. You've got forecasting errors, simple transactional mistakes. Each one is just more and more money left on the table.
Now, to really put that number into perspective, that's $6 billion in yield loss alone. That's enough cash to build 2 or 3 brand new semiconductor fabrication plants, we call them fabs, every single year. When you frame it like that, you realize just how critical even a tiny, tiny improvement can be. It's just wow. So how on earth do you fix a problem this vast and complex? You can't just throw more people at it, right? The solution lies in a huge shift, moving from a reactive mindset to a proactive, intelligent one. And that's where AI comes in. This transformation is all about flipping the script from reactive to proactive. The old way, it was all about manual checks, constantly putting out fires whenever something went wrong. The new way is a whole different ballgame. It's about an integrated ecosystem where AI automates processes, predicts failures before they even happen, and turns all this isolated data into real collective intelligence. And look, this isn't just some theory on a slide. Let's look at a real-world case. On the yield side, one company invested $5 million over 3 years to build out an integrated AI platform. And the result? A cumulative yield improvement of just 0.5%. Now that sounds tiny, right? Well, get this. That 0.5% translated into a staggering $150 million in recovered value. And it's the exact same story on the inventory side. A $3 million investment in an AI-driven ecosystem, we're talking things like RFID tracking and automated warehouses, it slashed inventory write-offs by $4.5 million. That's a 50% return in just 2 years. I mean, that's incredible.
But here's the thing. These individual solutions, as amazing as they are, they're not the end game. They're actually the building blocks for something much, much bigger, the age of the fully autonomous factory.
You know, this is really a story about the evolution of intelligence itself. We started way back with hindsight, just describing what happened. Then we got insight, diagnosing why it happened. With AI, we've now entered the age of foresight, where we can predict what will happen. But that final step, full autonomy, that's where the system not only predicts the future, but actively decides how to create the best possible version of it. That's the real game changer. And all of this leads to, well, the ultimate goal. The no-light factory. Picture this, a facility so automated, so self-sufficient that it can literally run in the dark. It has systems that self-correct and self-optimize with almost no human intervention. It's a complete fusion of the physical and digital worlds, creating a truly intelligent, adaptive ecosystem. Okay, but a fully autonomous factory, that obviously brings up a huge question. Where do we humans fit into all of this? Because this isn't really a story about replacement, it's about totally redefining our role.
I mean, seriously, what is our role going to be? Are we going to be in control? Are we going to be collaborators? Or are we going to become kind of codependent on these incredibly smart systems? As you start seeing humanoid robots walking the factory floor, figuring out that boundary is one of the most critical challenges we face.
And it goes even deeper than that, you know? This technology is going to demand that we trust AI to make huge decisions. Decisions that impact factories, products, and yeah, our jobs. Are we really prepared culturally and psychologically to hand over that kind of control?
The technology is advancing at an absolutely exponential rate. There's no question about that. The real question is whether our social structures, our education system, our corporate governance, our entire work culture, can possibly keep up with the pace.
But at the end of the day, this isn't some sci-fi story about machines taking over. It's a story of partnership. The greatest opportunities are not in choosing one over the other, but in skillfully weaving together our uniquely human creativity with the powerful, scalable intelligence of machines. That, right there, is the true blueprint for tomorrow's world.